Today I want to go over the high knee wall drive, which is a great exercise for hip separation, glute activation, core control and strength, hip flexor strength, single leg stance, and the technique that it takes to have a quality sprint or running mechanics. So really what I'm going to do first, I'm going to show you how to do the exercise, then I'm going to go over a couple of different flaws that we see with the exercise, and then a few progressions with that exercise. Okay, so first, you're going to get to a wall, and you're going to wedge yourself into the wall at about a 45-degree angle. When you wedge yourself into the wall, you want to think about really pushing that wall over and keeping everything nice and straight from your shoulders all the way through to your ankles. From there, you're going to take one knee and drive it up to about 80 degrees of flexion as you're simultaneously driving the down leg into the floor. Really focus on driving that down leg. Then you're going to switch sides without allowing your hips to sway side to side and prevent that big weight shift. The whole time, maintaining that nice wedge into that wall, really trying to push that wall over and driving the ground away here. Okay, so from a side view here, same thing. We're gonna try to really drive that wall away, wedge into that wall, make sure you're in a good, solid plank position here. Try to pick that knee up to 80 degrees here and come through. Okay, so now I'm actually going to go over a few different flaws that we see with this exercise. So from the back side here, again, this exercise helps you work on single leg stance positioning. So if every time you go to pick up that leg, you see this big weight shift out, you're not working on proper single leg stance here. So you want to make sure that when you go ahead and bring that leg up, that everything stays nice in line here, straight like an arrow, nice and rigid, okay? Another common mistake that we see is a lot of movement within the trunk. So again, this exercise is a great exercise to help you control core positioning while extremities are moving, your lower legs here. So from the side view, what we'll see a lot of athletes go into, first when they wedge into this wall, they actually drop into some form of extension here. We want to make sure we cue them to get nice and long here, okay? Wedging into that wall, being strong. And then when you bring that leg up, that you don't go into any lumbar flexion or extension as you're coming into this drive here, okay? So again, you want to make sure that there's no movement within that trunk as you're bringing that leg up, and you should really feel yourself actually working within that anterior core to keep good position here, okay? And with that down leg drive, so this down leg, you're really trying to push away, get some good glute activation as you bring that other knee all the way up and get good hip flexor activation on this side. So there's that hip separation that we're talking about that's critical not only for sprinting and running, but also your lunging patterns, your single leg patterns. We want that good hip separation. Okay, so from there, you can actually take that and kind of speed that up a little bit. So what we're gonna do, you can get back to that wall, you can bring one leg up, and then you can go into a nice simultaneous switch, and making sure we're getting that really good snap down, driving through. Okay, and again, from the side view here, what that's gonna look like, staying nice and wedged into that wall, and as you switch, getting that really good drive into that ground, bringing that knee up, simultaneous hip flexion and extension here. So again, a great exercise to really try to control that core, not allow anything to move as those legs are pumping through that action. Again, not only is this great for running, sprinting mechanics, but it's great for core control, postural control, that hip separation that's critical for any lunging, single leg exercises. And it's also just a great warm-up to kind of get some blood flow going here. From there, you can go into any kind of marching, skipping, bound patterns, and then into some running and sprinting work. But again, use this exercise to kind of fire things up in the beginning of your program, put it in the middle of your program to kind of slow things down, really work on that good hip range of motion and core control throughout. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and shoot them out and use that for yourself.